Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another awesome TRC live show. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out, chatting with me in the comments while we set this thing up. I promise it's going to be a good one. So we have some slightly different things to do today than our normal kind of Q&A deals. This actually is going to focus a lot on products, specifically soaps, dilutions, that sort of thing. So if that's something you found yourself confused by, frustrated by, this is going to be a show you'll want to pay attention to. But, of course, we wanted to make the show interesting because if you didn't know, this is kind of our little practice session before we go into the big TRCMA show, which you can look forward to at the end of this month and the beginning of April, end of March. That is the biggest show we do all year. It's the giant live show that we really put our hearts and minds into every single time. It involves our friends from all around the industry. It really does test the limits of what this team is capable of. And big shout out to Glenn, who got things working on the back end today. She did an awesome job sorting out some technical issues. So just want to say that to everybody who's watching now. Big shout out. All right, but that's enough from me because actually we've got a little something going on out in the studio. Let's go see how our friends are doing. That's right, we got Sydney and Gabe.
Hey, what's up, Dane? Thank you.
Hey. Yeah, no problem. What are we doing today, guys?
So today, Sid and I have brought together a wide variety of products, both from soaps, rinseless washes, all the way to your APCs. And what we're going to talk a little bit about is how to dilute said products, because oftentimes in detailing, you use all these products. You want these products, one, to last a long time, but two, you want to make sure that you're putting the appropriate amount on any surface of the vehicle.
Yeah, we're trying to take away that glug method that we all love so much.
Which
I mean,
we still
it works,
do.
but you know, you should probably do it right.
Yeah. So that's the key thing. Today we're going to talk about dilutions. And the big thing that I want to note is it is a very, very simple trick. So we're going to kind of do this in an analog and I guess a digital version, if you will, legitimately, because we've got some tips and tricks that will hopefully help you guys. And as we kind of go through this process, comment down in the comments what type of dilution process when basically calculating do you do in your own shop or your own driveway, essentially.
Yep.
So, okay, products that we've got here, Sid. We've got our APCs. Mm-hmm. We've got our rinseless washes.
Yep.
We even have a variety of soaps, both from like a citrus-based soap to a pH-neutral balanced soap, right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes when we think of all of these soaps and all of these all per APCs in the back of the bottle, we kind of in our mind know what the standard is.
Yeah.
Like when I think of a soap, what's your thought process in dilution?
Well, normally I use rinseless wash, so I'm often, 256-1, where you know, things like that. As far as soaps in the foam cannons, usually like 10-1. I mean, I guess it just really depends. But I think the cool thing that we're going to mention too is that we have manufacturers who use milliliters and manufacturers that use ounces. And I know for me, that's when things got a little bit crazy.
Right. So I'm going to kind of break it down, I guess, in an analog facet. So here we go. Oftentimes, the things that we dilute in what? An IK?
Yep.
We dilute in a foam cannon.
Yep.
We do sometimes a mini. And then, of course, we've got for your, what does it say? Oh, you're supposed to dilute these?
You're supposed to dilute these,
yeah. Yeah, it's like Ugga Dugga. And then we have our, obviously, our like either foam or for your rinseless, right?
Yeah, and I do actually want to comment on his comment a little bit because I do think this is interesting. A lot of times you would think on a product that's supposed to be diluted, if you use it full strength, shouldn't it work better? But no, it actually a lot of times won't work at all. So I actually really like this comment because that is something that truly happens. People think, well, if I don't dilute it, like an APC is going to be stronger and it's going to work better. But sometimes it doesn't work at all when it's not diluted. It has to be activated with water. So
yeah, it has to be activated. And like I said, if you improperly dilute a product, what can happen? Like I've heard the horror stories. There's a car wash, right, where somebody diluted think it was wheel cleaner.
Yeah.
And it was more acid based. And what
Right.
happened was it ended up staining and it ended up causing issues on that wheel, and that
Yep.
wheel had to eventually be refinished.
Right.
So that's why ensuring that you have proper dilutions is key. Now, if you improperly dilute a pH soap with a couple ugga-duggas, is it gonna hurt? Maybe not so much, but the other key thing is proper dilution is going to allow these chemicals that you purchase to go a longer way. So if you're thinking of overhead and time spent and money spent on the products, you want these products to last to you a long time.
Yep.
So here's my method of madness, right? When I think of like an APC, right, like green stars, pole stars, I think of your 5-to-1 dilutions, your 10-to-1 dilutions, your 20-to-1, or your 30-to-1, right?
Yep.
When I think of soaps, the most common one that comes to mind is like 10-to-1, right?
Yep.
But what does this mean? And if you are somebody who likes diluting or doing your calculations through milliliters versus ounces, how do you get the right amount that you need?
Yeah.
So here is just a kind of quick tip and trick in how I do it, right? So if I'm doing a soap, like let's take, what do I got right here, GSF. If this is a dilution of 10-to-1, 10 parts per water, 1 part soap, that is a total of 11 parts that I'm going to put into, let's say, my foam cannon, right? So now my foam cannon, if we look at our foam cannon, I know this is going to be tough to see on camera, but you have essentially you have your milliliters, 1,000 milliliters, and then you have your ounces, which if you go to 1,000, it's 34 ounces. So when you divide 11, so 10 parts water, 1 part soap, if you divide 11 into 1,000, you're going to get 90 mils. So oftentimes, let's see right there, yep. You're going to get 90 mils on this section when you're diluting, because you're doing 1,000 divided by 11, you'll get 90. And then if you do 1,000 divided by 34, you're going to get right around 3. I think if you do by 32, and keep in mind I'm doing this in my head, you're going to get about 2.9 or 3. So you're right in that 3-ounce mark. So I'm going to pull up another thing. I'll try to do this for the camera since we got the camera right here. So like, as I mentioned, 11 parts, right? It's going to give us 1,000 mils. So if you look right here, there's 1,000 mils. But if you look over here for your conversion, you've got your ounces. It's just over 3 ounces right there. So again, right here, that's going to be about the amount of soap that you're going to put in. So it's really key when you're doing your dilution that you think about how many parts you're putting in total into any container. And that's really the easiest way to think about it.
Yeah.
You think about how many, so again, if I'm doing a dilution ratio of Polestar, and Polestar calls for, you can either go 5-to-1 or 20-to-1. So if I'm doing a 5-to-1 mix for like heavy decontamination on my interior, that's 6 total parts, because the 5-to-1, 5 plus 1 is 6. And if I dilute that, for instance, in, I don't know, my IK, and I want to put in here, I've got 500 mils, you divide 500 divided by 6, right? Pretty simple.
Yeah.
So it's very simple math when it comes to, I guess, calculating, but it can be confusing. That is kind of my, if you will, analog basis of how you would calculate for dilution. That's how I think about it in my head. However, if you are someone that doesn't necessarily find this still straightforward, Sid has a really, really good suggestion that would help you both from whether you're doing milliliters or you're doing ounces, or even if you're doing liters. She has a tool that is pretty flippin' sweet, and this tool not only helps with the dilution, but you can dilute to your specific foam cannon or bottle.
Yeah.
So
I do often cheat because I don't like to do math in my head.
Yeah.
And I have to give a shout out to Ryan Weiss, who's a great friend of TRC and of the show on this. And I did see David Boyce kind of jump in the comments earlier on this. So this is going to be the DRC app. So hopefully that worked right and I shared it right. So we have a DRC app, and this is going to allow you to see the dilution. So I don't know if that mirroring is working. Hopefully it is. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so this is so easy. So Ryan showed me this one time when I was at his shop, and I was like, this just totally simplified my life. Like, we could obviously take the dilutions that you were just mentioning, and you can put them in your calculator, but this is super cool. So
when people are commenting like, oh, that's 90.09,
Right.
which yes, it's again, it's an in your head situation, and you can pull out your phone and you can do your calculator, which I guess in some instances logic deems if I have to pull out a calculator, why not just pull out an app?
Right. So I love this app. So here's what we're going to do. So the first part of this app is going to ask container size, and this is going to be in ounces. So we're going to do a 32-ounce container, and let's just choose one of these. So
let's do.
Do we want to do like?
Let's change it up.
Polestar.
Let's do Polestar.
Okay.
So let's dilute it. Let's do 20 to 1.
20 to 1. So we're going to do that, and this is going to tell us we are going to use 30 ounces of water, and then you're going to pour in 1.5 ounces of the Polestar. So easy,
That's
right?
freaking awesome.
Then the next section over is going to go to milliliters. So if we're doing milliliters, how many milliliters are in a 32-ounce bottle? I only know ounces. You guys are going to be so disappointed in me.
Now you're quizzing me here, Sid, because in a 32-ounce bottle?
Yeah, how many milliliters?
Holy crap.
Yeah, there is something we can do if you want.
Is it 1,000? Or was that?
Yeah, you're about 1,000.
Let's say we're going to do 1,000 milliliter container. So this is container, right? And then
1,000.
Now we're going to do a 10 to 1 dilution. So now this is telling us that it is the, actually, I think that actually is 1,000 milliliters is the 32 ounce. So then we're going to do basically the 900 ounces or 900 milliliters of water.
Which this is rounding up. So for those of you who are like, well, 90, it's really 90.9. This does the same thing. So you can round up or you can round down, and that is totally fine.
Yep. And then real quick on this, it also has a section for panel impact ratio, which is kind of cool. So this is where you're going to set what pressure washer you're using, your water, all that kind of stuff. But then here, for people like me, here's the converter. So this is going to take you ounces to milliliters. So what were we asking earlier? We were asking 16 ounces to the milliliter.
Yep.
Is 474 milliliters. So a half of 1,000.
It's pretty.
We were close.
That part I have to admit I need, because the converting between ounces and milliliter, I just look on the bottle and I just decide, okay, what am I going to calculate into what? Am I going to calculate it? Am I going to divide by milliliters or ounces? And that's basically what I do.
And then here's my other favorite part is they have a category. So this is when, if you cannot read the small print on these bottles, or you have something that maybe is in a secondary container and you can't remember, this makes it super easy. So let's go to pre-wash, and let's go to Kosh, Green Star. And so this tells us right there that for heavy duty cleaning, you're gonna do 5 to 1, medium 10 to 1, light 30 to 1. So this has all those categories, and a lot of different brands, most of which we use, are all right there.
Because if you look at the back of these bottles, it gives you, and it gives you the exact of what it's saying. So it's a pretty straightforward breakdown.
Yep. So I love that. So I use this all the time. This has become like such a great thing for me. And and I'll be honest, I was one of those detailers that in the early days, I just poured stuff in. I mean, I didn't really necessarily care. The other thing is, when I first started, is I used a lot of ready-to-use products, which are great. I love the ready-to-use. But when you're running a shop and you're really worried about cost efficiency, you really want to like nail down your dilutions. And if you're a detailer that has a shop and you have employees, this app will save you money. I guarantee it.
Well, and the other thing too is for us,
and make sure it's safe.
Yeah, and for us, we test products pretty thoroughly. Anthony does, Sydney does, Carson. All these guys, we all test a lot of the products. So making sure that we understand the dilution for the actual wash need. That way, when we have questions of, hey, how much should I dilute this to? We can give you a good solid answer that is not just a, hey, this is what we think. It's not subjective. It's very factual, if that makes sense. Now, a couple things I do want to mention to make this whole dilution process super simple and easy. The app is fantastic. Whether you're doing the analog version, which is my version of calculation, or you're doing Sydney's digital version, which is the DRC app, one thing that is really helpful is this container. Now, this is a container that you can get from Amazon, so it's nothing special. In fact, Carson here at the Rag Company, he got us this, and this has been deemed to be super, super fantastic.
Yeah.
Because whenever we do any type of dilution, me personally, I look towards this as my tool of doing. So in fact, today, in the next segment, what we're gonna end up doing, Sydney, Anthony and I, we're gonna be washing a car. We're gonna be using for that touchless. Now, this is what's cool about touchless is touchless tells you, hey, you need, for heavy duty car wash, 1 ounce per 2 gallons, or it says foam cannon, 4 ounce for 32.
Yeah.
So the nice
love
thing
that.
is, all I have to do is pour in 4. But I'm gonna give you guys kind of a pop quiz, and hopefully Dane can hear me on the other side. So if we are putting 4 ounces in a foam cannon, so 4 ounces, Sid, can you convert that into mils? That way we can make that fair for everybody. So we're gonna do 4 ounces. What is the dilution ratio in 1,000 ml foam cannon? Hit me with that, because that's gonna be kind of a trick question, if you will.
All right.
That we're
I'm
going
standing
over.
by. I have the answer that Gabe wrote for me, so hopefully he's got it right.
Dane, I do.
Wouldn't that be embarrassing? No, so while we wait for a few answers to come in, I do have some questions here for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and
Perfect.
populate these up on
Yeah.
the screen.
Let's do it.
Wolfsburg, he was the one who was saying he had a notebook he wrote out, but he also uses a DRC app. How do you
I like
calculate
that.
the panel impact ratio since all setups are different? I think that's a pretty reasonable question.
Yeah, so I actually have not played with this too much, but I do have, and I guess I'll share this again because it actually describes what PIR is. So Glenn, I'm going to throw this back up here. And so so panel impact ratio, we hear that a lot now, right? And so it is, let's see. Okay, so the PIR does not refer to the amount that you should put in your foam cannon, but it's actually the concentration that ends up actually touching the car. So it's more accurate because different pressure washer and foam cannon combinations will dilute the solution in a foam cannon differently. With PIR, you can achieve a more accurate concentration of chemical that actually ends up on the car by removing variables created by different pressure washers. So let's see. So if we do which I guess we'd have to know a volume of water.
Yeah, how
So
much
on
you're
here-
outputting through the foam cannon.
Yeah, so you would
essentially,
have
and
to
orifice
know-
size and all of that.
Yeah. So do we know like a estimate on that?
I couldn't tell you, not on our setup.
I don't know. Anthony, do you know? Not really. Okay,
heard a
so
snap.
I don't know.
Okay.
So guys, if you really want to dive into this, get the app, and
Yeah.
then if you can figure out your volume of water and you can figure all this out, and then it will tell you
Actually, I have
how
a
much product to put in.
better way to note this. Matt has a sheet on his pressure washers and his setup.
Okay.
He's got a spreadsheet on Obsessed Garage. If you go to that and use that in conjunction with this app,
Yeah.
you should be able to get your impact.
Yeah.
So-
there is this page on this app. So I would absolutely go to that.
What else we got, Dane?
Right, and then I've also got William Rivera here. Pull that
Okay.
up on the screen, saying,
I guess we'll
"Hi, what dilution ratio for APC for wheels? I'm using Simple Green all-purpose cleaner." So he's just wondering. I realize products can differ from
let's
one to the
see
next.
if this is
Simple
on
Green is
I'll let Sid
know.
look it up, and let's
We'll
see.
see if it's
let's
on
see how
there.
far off I am. But when it comes to your APC and you're doing wheels or any lower, it's typically a 5-to-1 ratio would be my guess, unless
Okay.
Simple Green. I don't think they have Simple Green,
they
but
don't.
5-to-1 is my go-to when it comes to even using like Green Star on wheels.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty standard on that front.
all right. And then I also have a few other questions here,
Hit me.
kind of related. Taheen Peeps here, 1934. Wondering what you guys like to use as clay lube. Kind of a little out there, but still a dilution-related question as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I often use a rinseless wash. So I'll either use Absolute, Hero. Now the standard dilution for clay lube is usually 128-to-1.
Yep.
I tend to actually sometimes go closer to 64-to-1, but the standard is 128-to-1. But you can do either.
The 3 products I used: rinseless, paint gloss you can use.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My go-to though is honestly just clay spray by Koch.
Yeah, so Koch and paint gloss are both going to be, you don't dilute those anymore.
No, you just go straight.
Yeah, so that is important, is that those are already at a clay dilution, that if you back them out at all with any additional water, you may not be getting the lubricity that you need.
Correct.
All right. And then I've also got, this one's more related to just today's show in general. They're noticing a lot of things look different today. So Ronnie, I was like, is this a new set?
So Ron, we have used this set for TRCMA. This set, if you go to any of their Amazon, like we sell on Amazon, this is technically our Amazon set that we use. But it's a set that we've used in the past for TRCMA, and it's a set that you'll see as well in a few weeks at TRCMA.
All right. And I also had one that I felt was pretty important here. Let me see if I can find it right. I want to make sure everybody in the room can clap for this because it was actually a huge one. GT Details,
Yes.
$50 super chat for Glenn coming in clutch.
So nice.
I want to give that a
Heck
big
yeah.
old clap for that.
Thank you,
'cause that
GT
was super
Details.
cool.
Very
GT,
well deserved. That's awesome.
Very nice of you. Glenn definitely deserves that. So,
Glenn is kicking some serious butt. She's doing a great job.
big shout out. All right. So, guys, anything left to add before we move things along here?
Hopefully you found that helpful. I know, when it comes to detailing, it's just really, like Sid said, ugga-dugga is typically, that is the way of life sometimes. And this is just, we figured, hey, we haven't talked about dilution ratios in a short manner, so we wanted to do it really quickly, just to kind of highlight. It's always good to touch back on these things.
Yep.
So yeah.
Agreed. All right. Thank you, guys. And don't worry, we will be back to the action here in just a moment. But I want to talk to you for a second and say, hey, thanks for tuning in. And I want to remind you that TRCMA is not far away. In fact, it is happening starting at the end of this month and kind of goes into the very beginning of April. So it's that last little bit of March going into April there. You can look up trcma.com for more details. That kind of takes you to that proper section of our website that walks you through. It's the Rag Company Media Access event. And what it is a big old live stream featuring a lot of our friends from around the industry. You can take advantage, of course, of sales and all kinds of big stuff happening, but frankly, the biggest thing happening is the show itself, which you can find right here on the Rag Company YouTube channel. And if you don't know what to expect, I highly recommend go and check out last year's show, or if you're feeling nostalgic, you can look back in some of the early years. If you don't recall, we started this clear back in 2020 when things, let's just say, were a little bit different, and a live show needed to happen because the big trade shows just weren't going on. So this is how we found ourselves a little something to do, and it turned into so much more. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Let's get this stream cranking. I know there are many of you here, and all you got to do, click that like button. We keep this moving. All right, speaking of keeping moving things along, we have, in a different section of the studio, oh my goodness, Sydney and Gabe just found another. You guys are just like accumulating people, and you got a car. What's going on over there?
Yeah, well, welcome, guys. You went from one party to another party here, and I'm happy to have you.
We like to party.
Good, right? Because
As the Venga Boys once said.
They didn't say that. I actually did. They did say that. Yeah. So here we've got detailing products. We have a red car. Some of my favorite things, right?
Yeah.
Detailing in red cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys did a fantastic job over there. Thank you so much for all the information. I love the app. I think that makes things
so cool.
Yeah, it does.
super simple. You could do this on your phone, on your iPad, just have it set up to the side, mix everything beforehand before you jump into your detail, and you don't really have a lot of thinking to do, right?
Yeah.
But I do recommend picking yourself up some IK sprayers. That way you can dilute that product into something.
Yep.
If you want to be bougie, you can pick yourself up some distilled water, and you can dilute your chemicals with distilled water if you want to do it that way. Otherwise,
Or just go to Obsessed Garage and buy a full setup. Yeah.
yeah, Gabe, if that's what you want to do.
I don't
right?
know.
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do things in your
that as
garage.
an option, so I wanted to.
I didn't know if I had to say that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But I'm glad you covered it.
Okay.
So here we go. So the detail here is going to be pretty simple today. We have Gabe and Sid obviously diluted here our touchless for today from Optimum. So we'll lay that on. And then following that, I thought it was kind of a fun thing to break out some Slasher soap from our Halloween sale. Did you purchase Slasher soap? Did you get this in the mystery box? If so, let us know down in the comments. This might be one of our last few bottles that we have sitting around, but
Not just a few bottles, Anthony. There's hardly any left in here.
I know. Let's really try to make the most out of it, right?
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it. Let's bask in the ambiance there. So this stuff is awesome, and so we'll put it in the foam cannon as well, and we'll also throw that into a bucket. And then for wheel cleaning, we're simplifying this. We're going to be using Optimum Power Wheel and Tire Cleaner. This is going to be an all-in-one for wheels and tires. And again, because Lucas takes pretty good care of his car and he stays up on it pretty often, we are back in stock with the Ultra Utility Brush. And so this is a really
Not for the paint, correct?
We could use it for the paint, Gabriel, but we're instead going to use it for the wheels and tires. And so
That's good. That's good.
This is one of those brushes that you can use for so many different things, and it just kind of depends, right? Some people like it for grills, some people like it for putting on dressings, right?
Yeah.
Sydney likes it
Yep.
for dressings.
Yep.
So we'll just use this as our wheel and tire cleaner because these wheels really aren't that intricate, and so I think it'll still do a pretty good job. And then over here we do have Adapt. We're going to use this as a drying aid today.
Nice.
It's something that we've never really talked about, we don't really promote as much, but Amplify and Adapt are both extremely slick and both work awesome. So we'll use Adapt here, and then for the tires we'll use some PSS to top that off, since
I
that's
love that.
Lucas's
That's his jam.
favorite tire dressing.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
so we'll do right by him. And then we have a few small liquidators here as that we can use for our drying
Wow,
towels.
look at that. You got 3. It was like you were. Were you playing this party?
One for each.
You
One
were,
for each.
you
yeah.
were playing this party.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here, we're actually going to lay down the decon soap foam and allow that to do some work, and then we're going to rinse it. We'll knock out the wheels, and then we'll knock out our main wash. And so
I like that.
what I would like to know from you guys, right, is during your dilution, during your session over there, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys find that you dilute the most? Like, what do you feel like is a chemical that most people are scared to jump into dilutions with? What do you feel is something that kind of, what's some good bits of information that you can pass forward, right? It's not just about diluting soap. It's not just about diluting, the simple stuff like rinseless wash, right? That you kind of know it's a capful. But APCs, interior cleaners, exterior cleaners, wheel and tire cleaners, like where are some tips and tricks you guys have? And while you're thinking about that,
Yeah.
don't jump into it yet.
I'm
I'm gonna go lay down some foam.
You said things that you'd be afraid. Like you
Maybe
mentioned,
maybe things you'd be afraid of. Well, yeah, some
'cause-
beginner tips and tricks.
Yeah, like one of the things that I think of are heavy, harsher chemicals that are acid based.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
low on the pH level.
Right.
So again, as we look at pH levels, we think of pH neutral is 7. Anything above pH neutral, like your green stars, your pole stars, they're going to be in the 12.5 above. And when you think of your wheel cleaners and stuff, they're going to be more lower.
Yeah.
So the tips and tricks that I think I kind of emphasized already, when you're talking APCs, 5-to-1 is pretty standard for an APC for a dirty vehicle.
Yeah.
10-to-1 when you're doing like maybe interior stuff on an all-purpose cleaner.
Yeah.
Soaps, 10-to-1 is pretty standard.
Yeah, but I do want to mention on the soaps, because I have seen where people have messed this up before or left streaking on a car. It's like right now Anthony is using a decon soap, something that
Yes.
is a little bit harsher, stronger. You do want to make sure you're not using the glug glug method on this, right? Because
Yes.
if you mix it too strong and it gets on the paint, it can actually leave streaks or running.
Or dots.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So definitely soaps, especially if you're using, the decon soaps and things like that. You really want to make sure that they're diluted correctly. And then the other thing that I think is important, that I've actually seen this come up online a lot, is let's say you have a bottle of Green Star that is 10-to-1.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've used 6 ounces out of your 32-ounce bottle. And I have seen where people go, just add that dilution again. So just add, 2 more ounces or whatever to make it, the 10-to-1 or whatever. And the problem is that is not right.
Yeah.
Because now your water ratio is off, right? So
It's watery.
Yeah,
You're not
it's-
getting the consistency that you're looking for
Yeah.
for the soap to
Right.
actually adhere and break down the contaminants, correct?
Yeah. So I see that come up a lot. So the best thing you can do is just have multiple bottles, and there is Green Star is one that I can think of that I have multiple dilutions. And so I always write on that, and that could be,
you can
interior, exterior, really dirty, or even if you want to put the dilution on your bottle, but don't try to add to the bottle to make it stronger.
Yeah,
because
and-
that's actually going to throw the whole thing off. So don't ever do that.
And to your point, right, this was supposed to, I made the comment 10 to 1 is
Yeah.
like a pretty standard.
Yeah.
However, this, for what I diluted on, the question I asked you guys, it's 8 ounces for a 32 ounce bottle, right? That's what, 8 to 32.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is that dilution ratio? That was not a 10 to 1. It was, so that's kind of a hint if you guys are still answering those questions. And in fact, Anthony has given us the bottle, implying I'm assuming to dilute that. So I'm gonna go get the dilution tool that I was talking
so
about.
we might have to pour out some water.
Yeah.
All right, so while they're doing that, we have Touchless sitting on the surface right now, which is working great. So this is Optimum's version of Touchless. I find it to be extremely safe. This is one of those products where, panel and pack ratio could absolutely make a difference. I think that Dr. G probably made this to where it's going to be safe to touch with your hands. You don't really have to worry about stain trimming or stain trimming, right? That's another type of staining. So trim staining and all of that. And so what I like about this product is that it foams well, it's got a long dwell time. And again, if it makes the process 60% cleaner, 60% easier, I'm all for it. So we let this dwell for a little bit. I can actually start seeing a lot of that dirt, a lot of that stuff really kind of falling down here. It's a really cool visual effect you see here. And we had some really bad rain this last couple days. I mean, like literally like an apocalyptic storm came through. And so while this car is normally really kept up with, it got pretty hammered and pretty hit from that rain there. So while they are doing that, we're going to rinse this off here, and from there we'll jump into the wheels and do just a quick wheel clean. Again, Lucas keeps up on these. They are coated and they are pretty well maintained, so they don't really need a whole lot. We'll go from there. So here we go.
And Anthony, we diluted 10 to 1 for Slasher soap, so that's what we're going with. So 10 to 1. 90 to 91 mils of soap. And Lucas has done a really good job with this car. So one thing, as I mentioned, we talk a lot about dilution, right? That's one thing. But the other thing too is we test a lot of products here at the Rag Company. This car is no different. In fact, this car is testing grounds for Lucas. Lucas has spent a lot of time. He spent a lot of time applying different coatings, different quick detailers. So this car's pretty well taken care of, and it's honestly pretty hydrophobic.
Yeah. No, especially the roof. The roof looks great.
Yeah, it's looking good. Yep. So, yeah. So no, this car is going to look great. We did do Slasher soap. Dane, has anybody come up with the dilution ratio that we used for Optimum Touchless?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you about because I didn't want us forgetting about it. So what happened was I got a few answers. Nobody got it. One person got extremely close.
Okay.
And it's one of our more analytical viewers, so I'm just going to pop his comment up on the screen. You tell me if you feel like Jeff here gets it or not, because none of the others were as close as him.
Oh, so close.
Okay.
So Jeff, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to call myself out here real quick.
Yeah.
So before the show started, Gabe asked me this question, and I answered the same as Jeff. And I see where we both went wrong.
So, okay. So this is the hint. Jeff, I'm going to say something really quick. So if you do a dilution of 8 to 1, 8 plus 1 is 9 total parts. So if we go 9 total parts into 32 ounces, it's a little bit different.
He's going the wrong direction.
Wrong direction, Jeff. Wrong direction. You're so freaking close. Oh, God.
Okay, sorry, Glenn. We're getting soaked.
My butt's getting wet, Jeff. But you are extremely, extremely close to your answer. So just keep going the opposite way, though, Jeff.
My ankles are soaked.
Oh, my
now.
gosh. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Well.
All right.
I got to find that bottle. Oh, my God.
Oh, goodness. Too funny. Wow, there's a lot of traveling water from that thing.
I'm sorry, 4 ounces. So it's 4 ounces. So it's 4 ounces to 34.
Right.
You want to put 4 ounces into 32 ounces. How
Right.
many is that? So Jeff, you're really, really close.
Yeah.
Again, remember when you're diluting, whatever the number is, plus to the dilution of 1.
So close.
So close.
So
32
close.
ounces. 32 ounces.
Yeah. So 32 ounces. How many times does 4? No, what did we say? 8? What was that? Sorry. What is it?
Oh, you almost.
Say it
So
again.
it's 4 ounces.
Okay, so 4
ounces of product.
Right.
Into a
32
32
ounces
ounce.
is 8. Right. The number's 8. So if you need.
So 8 goes into 32 by 4 times.
Yeah.
Right.
And if
so
you need
that's
1 part.
7 to 1.
Yeah. So if you need 1 part product, the rest is 7. So
I
it's
know.
7 to 1.
I know, Jeff.
You're
I
so
know.
close.
I would give Jeff the win. Jeff is
needed
the closest. I
total-
To
stood
be
up.
fair, Jeff was there before anybody else was. All these recent comments, I'm just going to assume, looking at this, they're all kind of using the warmer, colder method because they're like, well, you kept saying, you're so close, and we said wrong direction.
it's
we
so
basically gave them a roadmap after that.
I know.
all
So
these
really-
comments I see of people actually getting it right now.
So this is 32 ounces. If you put 4 ounces in a 32 ounce bottle, right? 8 is divisible by 4, so you've 8 times 4 is 32.
Yep.
So that means you're going to do 7 parts per water is 1 part per soap. So it's 7 to 1.
Yep.
That is the right answer. I apologize. I do realize I said that, and in fact, when I asked Dane the question, I was like, oh crap. I don't even have the freaking bottle in front of me, so I forgot off the top of my head of what the amount was in the bottle. So.
Oh boy. See, this is what happens when you play around with the math. People start
Yeah.
getting on your case, man.
I know. I didn't say it was perfect, okay? So should we help Anthony?
Well, I was going to offer to do the
Oh.
wheels, but it looks like he's doing a good job, and I know he likes that seat. So
I
Anthony.
do want to say here, guys,
Yes.
go
Dane.
for BC. Very honorable sportsmanlike conduct here. I like this. My recent comments were walked into the target.
Yes.
Give Jeff the win.
Yes,
Jeff was
Jeff-
here way before anybody else, and he was very close. Everybody else who guessed afterwards was basically given a treasure map. So
Jeff, send me an email, gabe@theragcompany.com, and I will hit you up with a surprise. gabe@theragcompany.com. Because you were our closest winner.
all right, we'll give it to Jeff.
We're going to help Anthony because
Yeah.
Anthony invited us to this party, and he, quite honestly, looks a little sad.
Not that sad. I'm actually having a great. Oh shoot! I'm actually having a great time.
So let me use this. I have not used this before.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So
Is this one still needs done?
Yeah, Sid. So
Do you have a wheel bucket? Where's your wheel bucket?
I don't have wheel bucket. I'm going bucketless.
Come on, dude.
So I want to take a minute. I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm overstimulated. And so, bringing it nice and close. So I just want to give a special. I can't talk. They were serving drinks before the show. I'm kidding. That didn't happen. So I want to give a special shout out to my friends over at Origin Jeans for making exceptionally comfortable jeans that have a lot of stretch to them and are great for detailing. And so I'm actually wearing them right now. You can see
What are we doing?
the amount of stretch that these
have
things
no clue.
have. I absolutely love them. They are made in the USA in, I believe, Maine, and you can
he have
check them
tire
out
cleaner?
at Origin Jeans or Origin something. So
combo.
I'm wearing these jeans right now and I love them. But what I want to give a bigger shout out to another Made in America product, is what I'm sitting on right now. It's what these jeans are on top of, and I think I got to show you guys. So
Oh, no.
this right here is the Viper Mini Creeper, the best freaking money that I think you'll ever spend
Love it.
on your wheel cleaning ventures. So this can be put in 2 different directions. You can put it up, I basically flip it towards a lower seat or a higher seat.
bucket.
This is kind of flipped to the higher position. And what's crazy is you look at it and you go, okay, well, how would I use this? Well, you could get on it with your knees like this if you want to, and you can polish on it like that, right? This would be relatively comfortable. You can kind of scoot around on your tippy toes and kind of, shimmy along, right?
Anthony, this is
if you just
kind of
if you just wanted to
cringy.
shimmy, you can just shimmy, right?
Oh my God. What
Now-
are you doing over there?
Gabe, I have a pitch. Stop it. You're ruining everything. So I could just shimmy, right, if I want to do it that way, right?
You're doing something.
Let's talk, see the shimmying. Here we go. I'm shimmying back, right? Now, this would be great for polishing, right? Again, I'm on my knees. I'm way more comfortable, and I'm on a cushion, right? But, literally, but, you stand up, you walk around it, and you freaking sit on it. This is, without doubt, the most comfortable wheel cleaning position I have ever been
It's
in.
a good thing he has a stretchy.
My
thing
posture
that
is
he's
awesome.
showing it instead
My
of letting
jeans are
us use it to
stretchy.
walk.
And look at where I'm at.
Oh man, it really
I
makes
am
these wheels clean
right
easy.
up to a wheel, right? And this this literally couldn't be any easier. And so what I like here is that you have two trays on either side of you, so you can actually put your wheel cleaner right where you want it there. You can put some brushes here on these trays, which is great as well. But like ergonomically, this is the best thing ever. Now, I didn't know that this was what this was made for, to be honest. And so I reached out to Alex over at Viper, and I've already requested that this has a backrest attachment. So ideally, if there's a backrest right here, I could kind of lean up on it, right? And then I could be super, super comfortable with wheel cleaning, or really just anything, polishing. I mean, again, as a detailer, there's so many times when we're on our knees. I mean, we spend a lot of the time on our knees doing what we can. I mean, so listen, what I'm trying to say is we're on our knees a lot, right? It's not good on your knees, and oftentimes people are not grabbing like a cushion to get onto. And so when you're polishing and things like this, it is so much more comfortable to be in a seated position and not be having to bend down. And so having a couple different seat options is ideal. So again, this is the Viper Mini Creeper. That's kind of where the plug ends. I just want to say I absolutely love this thing, and I'm thinking about getting one for my house because can't go without it.
Anthony, have you ever
That's it.
seen Nacho Libre?
I have seen Nacho Libre, Gabriel.
You know what I
Yes.
think of is that scene where he's like, my stretchy pants. I feel
No,
like that's
seriously.
you.
Seriously, so these jeans are awesome. This chair is awesome. I think it's time to foam this thing again. Let's do this.
You need to rinse off the wheels first.
Oh, you're right.
While you were
cleaned all the
doing your
wheels.
sales pitch, we did the wheels.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
We cleaned the wheels without the Viper stool.
We did. You were talking about how great it was, and we were on our hands and knees literally doing this the entire time.
You guys could have asked to borrow the chair.
Well, we would have, but you were kind of deep into your pitch.
You know?
It is a really great idea. I mean,
You lay down. Do you get wet, Juice, when you do that?
whose jeans will rip this year? I got 1,000 on. Oh my
I
gosh.
don't think Anthony's are going to rip. I think they're meant to be stretchy. So
Yeah.
I think he's probably. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's
I don't
probably
know.
going to be good.
I think we'll have to.
Yep.
Nope. You got to get the stretchy Lulus.
See?
Ooh, David Boy said Lulus.
Yep.
But I could, but.
Ooh,
I'm
show
wearing
him how
jeans.
sweet. You can put that attachment on your. Wow.
You mean this?
Yeah. What do you do when you take that off?
I set it right inside here, and I snap that thing in,
Oh,
and then I grab my foam cannon,
Wow.
also from the rack.
and I go like this, and I lock it in place with just a quick little press, and I'm ready to rock and roll and lay down some delicious foam. How's the dilution?
Great.
10-1, baby.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna produce some pretty good looking foam.
You should. Yeah.
All right, let's get ourselves set up for a good
Splash
shot.
yourself.
We're gonna step back so
Yeah.
you can do
Jimmy.
your thing.
How about
How'd you
it?
like to go for a ride with me? Come on, I'm gonna take you to the promised land, baby. Let's do this. Come over here. No, I didn't take that from Matt. I made that up. All right, here we go. Delicious foam, and it's gonna smell amazing. Slasher soap. If you missed out, you missed out. There's actually no going back. There was no more of it. So, awesome if you picked it up, but if you didn't, then I'm really sorry because it's awesome stuff. Here we go.
Oh, look at that 10-1 dilution there, Anthony.
Up, look at that.
Little goes a long way.
Look at that. Can we get an up close shot at that, Jimmy? That's some thickness right there.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Oh man, and it makes you want to go up to it and just take a whiff, right? Sid, have you smelled this?
Yeah. It smells great.
It's amazing. Gabe, get in
What
here.
is it? What are we calling it?
Gabriel, don't box us out here, but just get in there.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Oh, man.
Oh, I got too close, didn't I?
Yeah.
I
This
did
isn't
it.
the 80s,
I did it.
Gabe.
What?
What's so funny?
Nothing.
All right, here we go.
Nothing. It's just we're having a good time. Anthony is clearly doing a foam party here. We're gonna get out of the shot so that way you guys can see the goodness of Anthony. Anthony's hair is thinning. What? No, it's not. The Ultra Extra line is going to cost me money. It is going to be epic. So, shout where credit's due. Anthony has spent a lot of time really working in the design, going back and forth with the design of the H2O line. And he has done a fantastic job with this line. So you guys are going to be super excited when it does come out. It's going to be pretty epic. Lucas, don't you talk to me that way. Look at that. Holy smokes. Sid, what do you think of that soap?
I love it. I love it, but I also think it's sad that we can't get it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just foaming to get my hands on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good thing Anthony didn't hear me. Shampoo Plus almost creates too much foam. Can you foam our bucket?
Yes, I can. Is there any soap in there?
No.
Oh.
Let's put
All
a
right,
little
let me
bit
do a
of...
quick dilution for you.
Going back
Okay,
to the
yeah.
glug glug method.
You literally used the rest of the bottle.
Oh,
Anthony,
no.
don't make me say your middle name, Fisher.
I don't know where my camera's at.
Your camera's over there, dude. Oh, you used it all.
So this bottle is now empty.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You can find it on eBay later with a signature from all of us here at the Rag Company. Bidding starts at $50 for an empty bottle. I think it's definitely worth it.
Bro used the rest of it.
I'll sign it with a
Literally.
silver Sharpie. But that's it. I mean, and so that's it. Do we throw it away? What do you think, Jimmy?
No.
Keep it, right?
Yeah.
Keep
part
the
of
empty?
lore.
Yeah.
Part of
Part
the
of the
lore.
lore.
Man.
This is why our office
It will be
we
missed.
look like a bunch of hoarders.
The lore that's going
Yeah, the
away.
lore. We have all sorts of stuff in the
Oh
office.
no, he's actually wow.
Wow.
Okay.
How long have you guys been there?
What show is this?
Okay. Oh, and you just threw the bottle. Sorry. Okay. All right. This,
All right, let's
this is
do
just-
it. Let's clean this car.
This is starting to turn into a little bit of chaos.
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh, God.
Ah, dang it. There's only 2 wash mitts.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. I was a silly goose.
God.
No, not the bottle. You guys, this isn't Carson. This isn't what we're doing here. What are you?
Oh, my gosh.
Not the white wall.
Bucket's gonna need a cigarette.
What?
What do you say?
The comment says this bucket.
What's the pressure washer doing a great job with the foam?
No, the previous comment said the bucket's gonna need a cigarette.
Holy smokes. Okay, I'm going to stand at the table here for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple questions here. So
Yeah.
while they're going at it, let's go and bring up a couple just to give us some good topics. Don't kick my bottle, dude. All right, GTE tells. That actually, after that super chat, you may deserve that bottle. So we should think about something. Bottle abuse says molasses, and then we've got. Is that my boy Carson? That is Carson.
It is Carson. They call him Carson Blackjack.
Yep. Man, I wish my slash card foamed like that. All good. Why didn't it?
10-1, baby.
Gotta do the right
proper dilution.
Proper dilution, and I'm just going to say a small plug here. The foam cannon could have something to do with it, right? Thanks to our friends over at the Rag Company
That
and
was
the
spicy.
Ultra H2O line eventually coming out. You too could have foam like that. Probably needed the new TRC kit. Yeah, probably. Again, thank you. I couldn't make that up. Next up here, I have a bottle with a few ounces left. Communicate with me and we can make it yours. Ooh,
Oh,
The
wow.
bidding starts now, right? Everybody's gonna be coming out of the you know, what do you call it? I don't know. Coming
Woodwork?
out of the woodwork with their bottles of Slasher soap.
Is that the analogy you're looking
This
for?
is exactly what TRCM is like. I cannot wait. You are right, Joey. This is
This is a nice
pretty much what it's like.
debut. It's chaos.
Proper dilution is the solution, Ron. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it.
Oh, my bucket
Sid, do
just
you
ran
need
away.
the bucket? I'm
And
sorry.
this makes me want to go to
Just ran
TRCMA, totally. And that is the one who shall remain nameless, Kevin. Yes, agreed, Kevin. It's a great place to come and hang out with our friends like
Are we using
Lucas
real names
and
today?
Carson.
I guess so.
And Jimmy. Right?
We love our
Holy
buddy Hunter here.
Sorry.
Hunter. Oh my gosh. A golden retriever inside a human body. Hunter. We love him so much. Random question.
I'm not wearing
Does
my,
the production team shoot these lives
These are
in
whatever
log or flat color profile?
My
Would love to
Vessies.
see Recording
I'm not wearing my
79
Vessies.
let on these shots.
Ooh.
I'm not wearing
these are
any of my
shots
Vessies right now.
straight at a camera, I think. I don't know.
Well,
They're not
it's
shot
true
flat,
though.
right?
We shoot in a flat profile that
Yeah.
gets run through a filter on the back end through the system.
Okay.
One of the cameras, I believe the mobile camera that Jimmy's using, does feature a different setup specifically because it's too much information in the maximum,
Look at this.
you know,
Bro
flat
didn't take
setting
this off.
in the
He just
log
put it
setting.
on here.
That's funny.
But look,
So I
check this
think he
out.
does Rec 709
Oh,
for it.
where is
if I'm not
my
mistaken.
spray nozzle? Oh, how convenient. How do I put this on? Do I need two
Just click
hands?
it, no. Yep.
Sorry. All right, let's rinse
Jeff
this bad
says no
boy
low
out.
ballers. He knows what he's got. He knows.
All
what
right,
he
next
has.
up here, we've got some more comments here in the chat.
Oh, my goodness. I did not we were getting so
like
wet.
this. Like this shot. This is good.
Look at my hair.
I have a full unopened bottle of Slasher, says
What?
Joey Belinsky. Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
I thought you guys filmed everything on an iPhone. No, that's
Really?
the other channel.
Yeah.
Next up.
All right. A lot of camera talk.
In no real
Oh my
reason
gosh.
unless you edit it later.
Yeah, I know. You
Yeah,
just-
we
yeah.
do. We actually will,
I'll just stand right
from
here.
TRCMA, we will actually take some of the shots and then re-edit them. Yeah, we will pull them. Mainly because we actually have a back-end recording of everything, which is nice.
Oh, no.
Anthony's
Oh,
hair is
geez.
thinning. Your camera guy did you dirty. I'm in the same, but no, my hair is really not thinning. That's just how it is. It's always been that way ever since I was young.
Oh man.
It's just this weird shot.
You know
Remember
what
Dane?
I think it is? I don't think it's thinning.
No,
I think
it's not thinning.
something
It's true.
It's just-
Anthony's hair
so-
has always been like this. As long
It's
as I've
always
known him,
been
it
like
has
that. Like
not
my hairline
thinned
hasn't
from-
changed. It's still,
Yeah. No,
it's still there.
consistently there. I think what it is sometimes your hair color changes depending on what you put in it. And
Correct.
so like today you
Yeah.
have more gel up in the front, so it's darker in the front
Well,
and it's lighter
so-
in the back.
And it all depends on how it kind of flows. Like what's
Yeah.
funny is that like my skin color of my actual head
Yeah.
is like always like red, right?
Yeah.
So like actually let me see if I can get a shot here. But see what I mean? So
Detailing
the
show,
thinness
Yeah.
is up where it's all white, right? So what you're kind of seeing is mostly it's like a hair color thing.
It's a hair color thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balding doesn't run in either side of my family, fortunately. But hey, you know what? If it happens, I don't care. I'm one of those guys that I'm not weird about that. Like, if I were to go bald, I'm shaving it and I'm being a
Embrace
hat
it.
guy.
You go full Dom Toretto.
Yeah, I think it's when you start worrying about it.
Yeah.
That's when it happens.
Yeah.
And it happens fast.
Yep.
So
It's-
the
it's-
idea is you embrace it and you say, "Bring it on, baby."
It's worse to try and cling on to it and end up with like the horseshoe. It's like just shave it
yeah.
off.
No,
Just
yeah. Well,
eliminate it,
and-
and you'll look much younger if you just get rid of
You're
all of it.
nowhere there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
They're
and to-
saying his hair's thinning. It's
No,
not. It's just
it's
the color
not.
and the
It's
way
just
the
the
light's
color,
hitting
I know,
it.
yeah.
It's fine.
But Jason has a question for Anthony here.
So what I'm going to do is eventually, so Dane's my friend, right?
Oh, no.
Dane will never go bald. At some point, right, if I ever need to extract hair from him, super easy. We have a
Yeah,
similar hair
like a
color.
transplant,
I'll
yeah.
just
Just
kind of
siphon it off,
transplant.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey Anthony, say I'm using Perfect Finish with a yellow Rupes / yellow Buff and Shine foam pad to remove light marring on a white car. Any benefit to finishing with black or white finishing pad, or is that overkill? So Perfect Finish with the yellow Rupes. With a Rupes yellow / Buff and Shine foam pad. I'm assuming yellow as well. So Not really. Basically, like that should be able to finish out on its own with your pad and polish combo.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, what you could do is you could actually take a black pad with maybe 1 or 2 dots of perfect finish, and you could actually just do like a spritz of water on the pad and then do a finite finishing with the same combination, right? But now you're just adding a little bit of moisture to the pad, and that'll allow the product to spread a little bit easier, faster, and give you that final kind of like jeweling effect if you feel like you need it.
Yeah. And
But
my comment for this is, are you doing it on your own car or a car that you're getting paid for? Because if you're doing it on a car you're getting paid for, the answer is probably no, because are you getting paid to do that second step? And the difference is going to be so minor. Now, if it's your own car and you literally just want to have that peace of mind, do exactly what Anthony said, and honestly, between the two, you don't even need to wipe it off. If you're using perfect finish, you could go right back over and you're going to do great. But white cars, you're hardly going to see anything.
Yep.
So if it's your own car and you want to play around, knock yourself out. If it's a customer's car, the difference is so minor, it's not worth your additional time or wear and tear.
Here we go. If a bottle of Slasher is going for $250, I have one too. Same.
Man, suddenly we
Same.
got some
There we
takers
go.
in the
Yeah.
audience.
Tomorrow I'll be at TRC EU to have some fun with them. Hans, we have heard, and I am thrilled.
That's super
I
fun.
kind of have a little bit of an idea what's happening, and I've never been so excited. Like my mouth is actually watering for you.
So excited.
Wow, it's like everything that we've ever wanted lore-wise is going to be coming true. And how do I get the shirt that Anthony is wearing? So this right here
Ooh, back to
Yeah.
was
What was
from
my favorite year? Was
TRC
it
Ma
23?
23
or 24?
23.
Yeah, so this right here is a limited edition. Again, I am willing to sign and sell anything for the right price. And I'm kidding.
I have one that I'd sell for $250 too.
Yeah, I know we don't we started selling like, all of our crap, right? My wife's like, "What happened to half the closet? I sold it all."
Yeah.
Just hawking off random,
Yeah.
stuff because suddenly it has intrinsic
Yeah.
value.
Anthony
Yeah.
has a built-in comb over. It is. It's true. It is true.
I'm
You should-
surprised about how
What's
many
funny
people
is you
are
should
commenting
see
on your
my
hair.
my daughter, right? God bless her. She has the same hairline as me,
What-
and so same thing, comb
Yeah.
over kind of like style,
Yeah.
and because she has a cowlick in the same spot that I do,
Yeah.
and I always was bummed about having a cowlick, right? Because basically it limited my hairstyles I could pull off, but I got it from my Portuguese grandmother, and and I just own it, man. It just is what it is.
Oh gosh. All right. Next up, Wolfberg says that was a TRCMA from a few years ago. Maybe you could fight Hans Closen for it. There you go.
That's true.
So people who don't know, TRCMA gets like a different shirt design each year. There's
Yeah.
some special stuff here and there. It's just fun because it's always something different.
Yep.
But
Gabe and I both went with the Halloween. I know you guys can't see my
Yeah.
t-shirt, but I'm wearing the not this one, but I'm wearing the Scream one.
Are you?
oh, the Scream one's
sweatshirt,
good
yeah.
too. Yeah.
We were
Scream one is the
thinking-
most current design.
Are you wearing
That's
the
from
one that
most
I'm wearing?
recent one.
No, I'm wearing the Scream mask one.
Which one do I have? I
you
forget.
have the
Gabe has last year's.
you have
yeah, the Shining
slasher
one.
Yeah, the
the
Shining.
shining one.
Okay, now I don't think Gabe did this while we were yapping. What is on the car, Gabe?
I did adapt as that's what we're using as a
Yep.
drying aid, and
Drying
Anthony's pretty
aid.
right. I've never really used adapt for a drying aid.
To be fair, we probably should have blow dried a little bit of the water off before using Adapt. I think
You
we-
also
You know
gave
what
us a
though?
little
To
We may
be
have-
honest, like whatever's on this car, a coating, it shed most of the water itself. There's really
Yeah.
hardly
Yeah.
any water on it.
It's done great.
Just the flat
Yeah,
surfaces.
I just think
but-
that with Adapt, when you're using it as a drying aid, you don't really want to over dilute it. If you want to get the actual kind of slick feeling, the best thing to do is just to do a little bit of a blow dry of some water, leave a little bit left on the surface, and then go back through. And then wash that drying towel, obviously, as soon as you can with some rags to riches, or give it a quick little spritz of rags to riches, and you should be good to go. But Adapt will not clog a towel in the same way that Amplify will, in the same amount of time. I find, the protection ratio of Adapt is, I don't know, maybe 3/4 or half that of Amplify. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
if Bradley was in the chat, he could probably confirm. But it's just a little bit less. It's going to have
Have
a
I
little
ever
bit more
told you
cleaners
kind
in
of
it.
the quick cheat for that? Is you take rags to riches, diluted in a 16-ounce spray bottle, and you just spray your drying towel before you put it in the laundry, and that keeps it from kind of that curing, of the SiO2.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
This
Joey
is
says
looking-
Lucas finally getting payback for the last 3 weeks by having everyone clean his car.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
right. We better
Yeah,
do a good job.
Dane, you even got a car snuck in there.
Well,
It's
Gabriel
true.
did a
I
bad
slipped
job
one
of
in there
rinsing
last
this
time.
front. There is like so much soap left in this grill.
God,
Gabe.
it looks so good.
No, the soap you left in the grill. You didn't rinse that.
Aw, come on.
I did
guys.
actually rinse it.
Someone's
No,
going to
you-
blow that out.
No, you didn't.
All right. One shall remain nameless. And can we look forward to any special TRCMA swag this year? Shirts, stickers, etc.
You're gonna have to stay tuned.
Oh, TLFTWs, he said.
TBD.
I will say this: every single day there is going to be a certain surprise at the end of the day that is going to be
Locked it. Okay.
pretty
Okay.
epic, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. Now, Eric, with an actual related question to everything that's
Okay.
been going on here. Unpopular opinion. I wish more products provided a clear panel impact ratio to eliminate variation when using foam cannons, foamers, etc., especially with the higher GPM washers you get out there.
Yeah.
So, something
No,
to consider.
I agree that that's pretty dang important.
And then Alpha Tango shouting out the paint, saying it looks fantastic on camera.
Lucas, that's all
Yes.
Lucas.
It's a great color
No,
red.
that was the products that we used, and you can pick them up at theradcompany.com. That's the answer, because Lucas uses products from radcompany.com.
This car does not look good
we've
without
got
these,
some
that's for
more
sure.
razzle dazzle on this show, so we
do?
have to
Okay.
make sure we get this cleaned. Now
It looks great.
the thing is, I need to do the wheels. I need a rip and rag.
Ron
Oh,
here
he's
shouting
doing-
out Sydney
oh,
as
look.
well.
Carson here. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
missed it.
Do we have a Jimmy cam?
See it here, Sydney. Nice tip on the
Oh,
R2R.
we
Now
have
to go buy
a-
another
we have
spray
a
bottle.
sea
Yes,
bass can.
and you know what is great with that is you can spray anything, like even your FTWs. You know, if you're using Reflect or Amplify, anything like that, you can just spray
So,
it with the spray bottle.
I got to do a plug
Works
where
out
a
good.
plug is due.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Ryan Weiss, and I guess I'll give Carson a little bit of credit for hanging these. He hung them up a little crooked at times, but he finally got it figured out. Mr. Ryan Weiss sent us these, and these are freaking awesome. These are holders both for the Rip and Rag XL and our Rip and Rag all-purpose towel. And holy crap, these have made a big difference. Not only do they aesthetically look great, they're a stainless steel construction. They hold the boxes sturdy, but the nice thing is, you can just rip your rag, easy peasy, and you're good to go. So those are honestly game changers for our studio space. Definitely love them.
Yeah.
So I got a rip and rag so I can dry off the tires.
I have one last note.
Sure.
Since we are talking dilutions today.
Yeah.
For the R2R in the bottle, it is 1 to 2 ounces per 16 ounce. So I keep mine in a 16 ounce bottle. If you're doing a 32 ounce bottle, I would do 2 to 4 ounces depending, but I usually am more towards 1 ounce per 16 ounces. So I didn't get to mention that dilution, so I wanted to add that in.
No, that's nice.
Since we're on the dilutions today.
I mean, like I said, I felt like dilutions is a really important thing to touch base on. It's just, you gotta cover them. And the big thing is over time, you use so many products,
You want me to do this?
become a master in understanding
Take it for a
your
spin.
dilution ratios and also understand how to save money, essentially.
Eric
like
DIY
that,
here, saying he's not balding. His hair is just retreating to show how handsome the face is.
He's literally not balding though. The thing is he's
It's
got a
the lore
luscious,
now.
It's crazy. This is
Dude,
how
this is gonna
lore
bug
has-
you. You're gonna come into work tomorrow and
It's gonna
You
cause
just gave
me to go.
Anthony a
I'm gonna start
complex.
losing hair, right?
yeah.
It's quite funny.
No.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna be getting a haircut this weekend.
Oh,
I go down to a number 1 on the side, and then what I do is I do a taper up to number 2, and then on the top I leave a little bit kind of flowy. But I also need a haircut before TRCMA, so I have to time that with my mother because
I like doing a fade.
And yeah, that's how that works. So with that said,
What?
this has been a ton of fun, right? Sid is now laying on PSS from Coach Kemi. Are we getting a real back shot? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say a back shot, but I mean,
head
are
shot.
we getting a real?
It's the back of your head.
oh,
Yeah.
they're trying to look at the calic.
Yeah, there you go. There's the calic right there.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah, right there is my calic.
It's the gel. That's what it is.
When
The
you're
gel
zoomed
is-
in this close, it's
Yeah.
Don't
Not
say
as
it, Dane.
flattering.
Don't say it, Dane.
Okay, Dane.
Dane, you don't need to say that.
Dane,
You're gonna. He's now
stop.
becoming self-conscious.
Stop.
Robert says, will there be Matt and steaks this year? To which Joey says he will gladly cook steaks again. And then I've got a comment from Collie Carlos,
Okay.
who we ran into at SEMA. Very nice. Saying, how do I remove paint from plastic wheel wells and the lower rockers?
How do you remove paint? I mean, my go-to is Ulix, very, very, very gently, or you could even do tea for your plastics. Just be very careful. Plastics are very tricky.
There we go. And Alpha Tango pointing out, Anthony is warming up his double entendres for TR SEMA. Excellent. Yep, not wrong about that. Not wrong about that. So the car is looking real nice, I gotta say. Everything top to bottom is wonderful on camera.
The car looks great. You know, Anthony threw a wonderful party for us, and you know, Sid and I had a very good conversation prior to our sets about how can we give back to you, Anthony Fisher. You know, the thing is that you throw such a good party that we wanted to repay you, and you know, as detailers, we like to educate. That's our goal. And what better way than to talk about the past a little bit, if you will?
This way, everybody.
What? Yeah, we'll
We don't
shift
have a
over.
TV.
We don't. Our TV's off, so
Died.
Yeah, it died.
Monitor to.
So without further ado, Mr. Fisher, we do have a surprise for you. The garage door is going to open momentarily, and when that vehicle comes through, I want you to look my way. Don't look that way. The garage door is going to open now. I'm waiting for Carson to open the door.
Okay.
They're going to bring the car in, and we're just going to kind of do a review of the week. You know,
Okay. No.
We're gonna have a discussion, a good, fun family. Just don't turn around, don't let it distract. On the count of 3, I'm gonna wait till Jimmy has his camera set over here on your expression. So Jimmy's gonna focus. Stay right here. Stay right here. Okay. On the count of 3, I want you to turn around and look at the vehicle. 1, 2, 3.
What's going on, dude?
Dude. They do not make them like this anymore.
No, they don't.
Wow.
Look at this thing, man.
Was that dent there last time?
I don't remember.
I feel like we would have pulled that with the plunger.
Something like that.
You know what, man? This thing looks great, Lucas.
It doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad.
Oh, the full send held up beautifully.
It's got a little bit of hydrophobics.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of something to it.
Look at
Like
that,
I'm
yeah.
actually looking right now. Glass looks great.
The plastics still look good.
Was that damage there already?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Most of the damage
Yeah, I remember
was,
he came in, he goes, what did you guys do to my car?
was there, but wow, you know, gosh, that looks good, man. This is such a good car. So we'll go ahead and start the bidding at $5,000.
I don't know if he wants to sell it.
I think he's in it for the long haul.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
had this,
Priceless.
he's had this since high school. In fact,
Yeah.
Jeremy, can you get a
Yeah.
close up on the steering wheel over here?
Till death do we part, am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is how,
So one of
I
them
say
is gone.
loved. This is how loved this car is. Get a close up on that steering wheel. Looks good, huh?
You might have to explain to them that they're not seeing a full circle and there's a reason.
Yeah, there is a reason. It's a little worn out. But again, it's loved. This is a good thing, as Anthony Fisher would probably
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, no, it's loved, and I think it's been moisturized a lot. And the body oils are something that should be discussed more often in automotive detailing, or maybe they shouldn't. I'm not sure, but
I don't think they should.
this particular car has seen a lot of body oil, and which tells me that his skin is hydrated and acclimated to our current environment here in Idaho, which is awesome.
It's great. He is a runner, so that's something to think in mind.
Yep.
That tracks.
Goes and runs
Yeah.
on the green
Oh, I
belt.
don't know if we will wipe it down, Glenn. There's really not much we could do. But sorry, she threw out the option. But I think the idea is just to give it just a general review to see how the full send held up.
For sure.
It did not stain the paint. There's no issues with it
There's
at all.
no there's no dripping.
It's
or
really not
streaking.
that bad. I mean, it was a patch job is what it was,
Yeah.
right? Realistically, that's what it was.
Well,
it was a
and who
patch job.
saw it driving down
Waste
the
of my time
road?
is what it was.
It was not.
It was a waste of my time. Huge waste of time.
You
Full
didn't-
send's gone. It's off the paint.
You didn't think it looked great when it left here?
It didn't look bad.
It looked great. I thought it looked
better.
great. But who was it was it you, Anthony, that passed it on the road and was like, it actually looks pretty good, right?
What is he doing?
I think he's.
Great question.
I hope he's
Don't.
not going to polish something.
Don't. What are you doing?
No,
Hold on.
We're not polishing.
Anthony,
Gabriel,
stop it.
it's okay. Hold on. I have an idea.
No,
Give me a
whatever you're thinking,
He's doing something.
undo.
Give me a second.
Oh,
I need
no.
one
Are you
second.
looking? It's left, cabinet left,
But I
top
don't.
it's
left.
okay,
Do
I'll
you
just
remember
use
this
this.
being here?
If you're looking for the coach
it was
stuff, it's
there.
on the top left.
Or it could have
okay.
just been the lighting.
Left of the coach.
No, it's okay.
That's it.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't remember that being there though.
Hold on.
What in the
What
heck
are
are
you
you
doing,
doing?
Anthony?
Hold on.
Where's your pad?
Hold on.
It's on there.
He's got something going on.
Okay.
Let him cook.
In real time, this was not planned, but I just want to show you, we're going to do a quick little test spot right here on this fender, just to show Brendan what this could be potentially, or what it could have been.
No, yeah, because do it on the hood and you're not going to get that.
No, we're going to do it right here where there's a little bit of clear coat left, right? So what I'm going to
What
do,
do you have on there?
I'm going to spot clean this. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of paint gloss. I'm going to take my handy dandy creature edgeless. We're going to wipe this off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit more paint gloss. We're going to saturate the panel pretty well. Saturate this clay scrubber really, really well. And then we're going to go through and we're going to do a little bit of claying. Nothing crazy. This is going to take me all of about 20 seconds, right? Just to clay. I need to put that. I really have a microphone on. Okay, here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Medium pressure, just because I got to scrape through some tree sap that's probably been on there for 30 years. And after I do that, I'm going to take my towel. I'm going to knock this down. I'm going to discard this towel, set this to the side. And what I have on here is a heavy cut pad from Coach Hemming. It's the first pad I saw. Doesn't really matter. Pretty much anything will be better than nothing. So a heavy cut pad from Coach Hemming. You could use anything really. Ideally a Rupes, like a wool pad would be ideal on Honda Clear. But I don't know how much is left. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take the last cut plus. Just take this. I'm going to pop the top here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Take my finger. Do a little bit of a spread just to make sure we have some even lubrication.
I like that.
Then I'm going to do one more just to top it off for good measure. And then we're going to send this right here.
I feel like
Then
we
we're gonna
need
set our
a
adjustment.
camera shot of your expressions because you got some funny expressions behind you there, Anthony. Watch as Anthony sands off the remainder clear of this Honda.
Oh, this is going to be good.
You think so?
It's going to be good, but the battery died.
I got you.
The battery
I
died.
got you.
Rip, hit
I got
me.
you.
Hit me, ammo. Ammo. Oh, I just threw that. Shouldn't have thrown that battery.
We didn't need that battery. It's fine. Oh, wow.
Oh no.
I hope Rupes isn't watching.
We got
Locked and loaded. I'm ready to go again.
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh.
And what I'm going to do really quick.
You know what
here,
I'm having flashbacks to?
one spritz of two spritzes of paint gloss. And we're going to spread it one more time.
Dane, I'm
was a
having
little wet.
flashbacks of the time
was a
Anthony
little wet,
went
little wet.
and polished your van.
Too
Do you
wet. Too
remember
many
that?
sprays for a small pad.
How fast are you running that?
As fast as
We
he
don't need
needs
baby
to.
speeds around here, dude.
He's got like
As fast as
6.
he needs to.
No, that's 4.
That was 4?
This thing ripped.
I hear Glenn talking to me. I didn't hear that, Glenn.
Work on this guy right here. That's probably not going anywhere.
And then take our handy dandy towel, do a little spritz of our paint gloss there, because we're gonna need some moisture. And that right there
Looks pretty dang
Is
good.
a shiny
Looks
corner.
much better.
is a shiny freaking corner. Here we go. Take a look at that.
There you go, Brendan. If you're watching,
Fair enough.
This is what it could have been. This is what it could have been.
the irony is that's what Lucas was planning on taking it to, but we told him to full
had him
send
coat
it.
in
Yeah,
full
instead
send.
I was led a different direction. But, you know, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Looking good.
It looks really great,
Is
Anthony.
it a hit or miss?
I think that's a hit.
Okay.
Now, with that said, if you were to do this, that dent is going to become even like 10 times more noticeable because like the light's going to reflect off. It's going to be horrible. But
Well, we have the plunger.
we have the plunger. But
plunger.
I think that Brendan's going to love this shiny corner, right? I think he's going to cherish it for the rest of this car's life.
Did you cut the lights?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Homophobic.
Wow. That looks great.
And then topped
And
it
it
with
just
full
feels
send.
great as well. So,
So
you know, we can
probably
make
kills the
magic
bubble.
here
Definitely help
happen
with curing
one
the-
corner
Yeah,
at
and
a
the phobic
time.
didn't get to cure. Instead, full send just went straight into
Darn.
it.
Got it.
Covered
Okay.
up the headlights.
Got it.
Hey, you
Shoot.
know what? I think it looks great.
Yep.
I do think it looks great. I think Lucas did a really good job. Anthony, you did a fantastic job on the corner of
corner.
this car. I mean, this car is really just coming together.
Yeah.
Give it a couple more lives.
I still think,
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
think we should
Have it
do
on
a
the show a
live.
couple more times. I still want to go to the junkyard and find pieces.
Get a full-blown interior and let's swap the interior, not
Yeah.
tell Brendan.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm all about
they
it.
have Accords in the junkyard.
It's like one of my favorite things to do is to go to the junkyard.
What do you think?
Oh, we could rebuild this car in a
Oh,
day.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
Overnight some parts from Japan? Or Jalopy Jungle across the street?
Just Jalopy
I'm
Jungle.
replacing everything on this car with the body itself, so we'll like wrap the roof, and then everything else comes from another green Accord.
Well, the other thought that we had was, I think Jimmy had a cool video idea on this car where we do a Mako paint job and show them how to finish it off.
There you go.
All right, you guys. We've
Maker's
got
not
some
as cheap as it
Q&A
used to be.
questions here.
It
right.
isn't. All right.
Q&A.
All
Let's-
right. Q&A. We'll go do our job.
Thanks, Lucas.
All
Get them all
right.
down to the table. Awesome. Okay, so, yeah, bet you guys didn't see that coming. We had a little set for him and everything.
Look at that. We're
Beautiful.
switching. Why am I still wearing my gloves?
I'm like hot.
Amazing.
Whoa, here we go. There we go.
Just amazing. All right. So, obviously, there have been some comments and questions, but I do like Wolfsburg's here pointing out that he thinks we should do more paint corrections during the live, start with a clean and prep car. We have done that before, but in the past, I think we haven't done it as much because it can be a little noisy, a little
Yeah.
distracting, and take away from like the Q&A part of it.
Yeah, but nowadays we have those new polishers.
Exactly,
If you
yeah.
wanted a 3-inch polish.
Yeah, if you could.
We could
3-inch
3-inch
polish the whole
polish,
car.
but I mean,
Yeah.
it would probably best if we had 3 people with 3-inch polisher.
All right, so we've got some different comments and questions here, but let me get Robert Pellegrino here. Who wants to take this one? Maybe Anthony, because he's been so linked to this thing so far.
You think? Dane, just slightly linked to it. As of right now, so we will still have our TRCMA presentation on the Ultra H2O products.
Yep.
It is still TBA on the official launch date, right? So it's not confirmed whether or not it will happen at TRCMA. There may be a chance it may not happen at TRCMA, and we will know more. It just, there's a lot of back end stuff that has to be done, and the sooner I know for sure, I mean, definitely let everybody know. I mean, I'm just as excited about that as you are.
Yeah.
So just kind of stay tuned, but look forward to the segment at TRCMA. I think it'll still be an awesome segment, and people will love it for sure.
Yep.
All right, and this one, kind of a more broad comment, but it is a question nonetheless, so I like it. I want to hear your guys' input because every Q&A is a little different. Personally, I know where I stand, but I'll let you guys answer first. Anyone else love this
Anyone else
controlled
love it?
chaos?
Yeah.
The real question is, does Glenn like the controlled chaos? That's, I think,
Yeah, probably the most
question
important,
that
yeah.
comes into mind, because
Right.
regardless of what
Yeah.
we're doing in front of the camera, she and our entire team
Yeah.
are dealing with behind the camera, and that's where I really wonder.
Yeah.
There we
that's,
go.
That's really the question.
Lucas, you've been quiet. What do you think?
Oh, dude, I'm just here to have a good time. You know what I mean?
He's here to party.
We're here for the easy
Got it.
part. We're just having fun,
Banging
talking
boys.
to you guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, the rock stars back there. I'm telling you.
No, love that. And let's see. Ron with a good question here. Not necessarily YouTube related. However, it is related to live stream. So Gabe or Sydney, feel free to
Yeah.
take this one.
Cool.
Great question.
Yeah.
Do you want to take it, or you want me to
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So obviously the Rag Company manages several Amazon channels. So each brand has their own channel, and that is where we go live once a week. It's typically on Thursday mornings. The last 2 weeks we've done it Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday, yeah.
So if you go, and this is a great time to say, like, follow all the channels. So Kosh, Solution Finish, Buff and Shine,
Detail
the Rag
Factory.
Company, Detail Factory, and Opticoat.
Yep.
And Armor. Did we say Armor?
I think you did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so make sure you go follow all those channels individually. And here's what's really cool is, so we go live with a tip or trick or a highlight of a product once a week. We've done it every week since the beginning of the year. So that's been super fun. But the cool thing is you can not only watch that week's live, it kind of stays at the header of that channel. But also, if you click more videos, you can go back through all of them that we've ever made
In
for
the
that
past.
brand. And what I think is cool is it's kind of a hidden area for some really cool tips and tricks, maybe small things that we don't make full videos on.
It's-
So there's actually, even though you may not be shopping on Amazon, you may shop on, the ragcompany.com. There's still a lot of tips and tricks on just products on there.
It's very specific to the brand. So
Mm-hmm.
it's designed kind of like what Sid and I did today for the dilution set, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's camera zooming right there. It's very similar to that, where we have a lot of tips and tricks on specific products within those brands. And the big thing that our goal is for Sydney and I is to educate anybody who is looking at wanting to buy any of these products. What are they going to get? How is it going to work? How do you use it, right? And that's what we kind of talk about. Like one that we did this week that we were trying to brainstorm is, what's the difference between MZR, Polestar, and Green Star, and when might you use it, or why might you buy it? So we kind of break it down. So that's just an example, but we put a lot of time in curating the educational piece that's tied to the product. So yeah, definitely follow us on those channels. And oftentimes too, we run a lot of deals through Amazon, through
Yeah.
those channels, for those specific products that we're debuting for that week.
And there's some fun bundles and kits, right, that maybe are not on the ragcompany.com. So there's some little Easter eggs on the Amazon
Yep,
channels
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to miss out on stuff if they're
Yeah.
not looking for us in like every platform. And now Amazon is a platform as well. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for new stuff popping up there all the time. I do have GT details here, saying the controlled chaos is what keeps them watching. And also to
awesome.
go on top of that, the one who shall remain nameless, the best shows are the ones that go off the rails. And
Yep.
then I have a very important guest. Luke Berge has popped in with a massive super chat. Thank you so much.
That's a lot of ice cream in our future.
That is
so
that
awesome.
that dips into the cruise fund for sure.
Lucas, what does Luke say here?
He's saying, "What's up, you beautiful towel fluffers? Happy Friday, Junior Friday. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Hope you have an even better weekend.
Oh
than
man,
we
Luke,
deserve it, man.
we miss you,
Yeah.
buddy.
And that diamond kind of cuts into the comment box a little bit there.
True, it does.
I love that.
We're working on that part. Every little bit counts. But we do have BC here saying, Anthony or others, if you know TLC, in terms of cutting power, would you say it cuts more or less than KCX H9?
I think that H902 probably cuts faster,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Meaning, like the second I throw on like H902, I know I'm gonna be blowing through some clear. Not blowing. I'm not literally blowing through. But I mean,
You're doing
I'm gonna
more
be doing
cutting.
some serious cutting.
Yeah.
H902 though, for most people, you don't really need H902 unless you are finishing out a very hard, unless you're trying to cut through a hard clear, like in a body shop. Let's just say you lay down some extra, some hardeners, and you really got to cut through some minor defects and whatnot. Or you are working on some European vehicles quite often where H9 is probably needed because, again, Audi paint, certain BMW paint, you're going to need some serious cutting power on some of that, especially with the appropriate pad, whether it be microfiber or wool. So that's kind of reserved for that, in my opinion, whereas I do think the Last Cut and the Last Cut Plus is a little more universal with their particular approach on rotary and or DA with lesser cutting ability, but longer working time. And that's where I think that shines, is the longer working time.
I've been using rotary a lot.
Have you?
lately.
You've been a rotary guy.
Mostly because the cars that I've been correcting are just absolutely freaking hammered, and they're typically a black paint. And I was telling Sydney, the frustration that I deal with when I'm dealing with a dealership car is pad combo, right? I spent a lot of time just doing a DA pad and stuff like that. So now my big thing that I do is I measure the paint. Okay, we've got some room to party. I pull out a wool pad with a rotary. I cut the whole thing, and then I go back and I polish it. So I do it really quick, and honestly, it's faster for me to do that process than it is trying to find the right pad and run a DA and just do a one step.
Yeah, especially if you're measuring it. That's
Yeah.
good. Alpha Tango says, is there performance difference between the two air blaster sizes? The smaller one would kill my arthritis, but I can overcome if it's much better. No, they're both have the same amount of power. Just the smaller one does feel more powerful because of just literally the shorter barrel length on it. But I don't think, I think when we measured it with our high-speed camera, it was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
All right, and then I've got molasses.
Ooh, returning to the topic of dilution. Is it beneficial to use distilled water or diluted concentrates like APCs and the like?
This is an important question. So I think the biggest thing here is, I think where he's going is use distilled or
Tap water.
Well, you don't want to use tap water for APCs.
No.
Because it changes the makeup of it. Like if you were using it right away that day, you're probably fine.
But if you let it sit.
But if you let it sit, it's gonna like turn kind of funky. And so you always want to use distilled or RO water or something like that. But unless you're using it that day, you can use tap water. But try to not use tap water. And the reason being is I think when these are laid out for dilution and things, all of our tap water from city to city, state to state, it all ranges.
It changes
and
so
so
much.
it could change how something works. So definitely use distilled, unless, like for me and my foam cannon, I use tap water because I'm using it right away.
Right.
So it's not a big deal. But if you're storing it and keeping it, use distilled for sure.
Yep, I think this is great. Great answer.
All right, next question I've got here for Lucas, because he's always dealing with this kind of stuff. Tunnel Time wants to know, Lucas, what's the deal with the shirts?
Okay, so a question, how's the sizing of your sweatshirts? Run small, is true to size? I would say generally a lot of our merch is going to be closer to like a true to size. However, most of the time they are going to be cotton, so they can shrink
A
in
little
the
bit
dryer. I
smaller.
usually recommend running up just for how it's going to be down the road. Like
Yeah.
when you get it, it's going to be true to size, but it will probably shrink. So
You're a
I would
guy
say,
that
I would say sweatshirts size up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
T-shirts
agree.
are
I was gonna say,
pretty
Lucas is typically a guy that runs a size up,
Yeah.
right? On yours, yeah.
All right, the big question here, because I know people have constantly been asking ever since we mentioned we were going
Yes.
to do it,
Yes.
Anthony. He's just silently staring. Luke
Let's-
wants to know, what's the ETA on those foam cannons?
Soon, Luke.
That's going to be in
Yeah,
line with
yeah.
what I said earlier about the spray gun and all that. So yeah, basically the sooner that we will have a launch date here eventually. How do I say this? Everything is going perfectly. Everything is going perfectly as planned. What's going on right now is the craziness of TR SEMA.
Yeah.
It is a launch with TR SEMA is a little overwhelming right now.
It's a
And
nightmare.
So we're just trying to figure out how to space out and allocate our resources to where this is going to be a good thing all around, right? We don't want to overextend ourselves. That's all. So coming soon, we will still have the presentation at TRCMA, so we'll go over the finite details, a lot of the stuff. But it'll be, you know, maybe potentially sometime around that after that.
They're foaming to have that product.
I get
Foaming
it.
at the mouth.
They're foaming at the mouth.
Like, I am also foaming at the mouth. I have, like, we have a lot of different prototype versions here, and I kind of just want to, like,
So
take it
many.
home and, like, mount it on my, you know, just have it in my garage just so I can, like, feel the aesthetic look of it, right?
Steal one the other day.
Were you
Not
on it?
telling
Or,
anybody.
yeah, you probably could have gotten away with it. MZR video was helpful. Nice.
Yeah, pointing out the stuff on Amazon again. Those videos can be very handy for people looking for specific info if they're not finding it where they usually
Has
would.
anyone asked about the 5 liter?
No.
And what? Oh, I
About
think.
5 liter goof, about bringing 5 liter
It's pretty
goof.
gnarly to ship that stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to work around those restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see.
And just on the front of doing more paint corrections during lives with the, you know, advent of, you know, quieter polishers, that kind of stuff, Anthony, is that something you'd be open to in the future? I mean, granted, all of you might potentially do
Anthony,
it,
what are we talking, Anthony? How many times has Anthony been out there?
well, that's the thing. We're throwing him out there because all you guys do it. But Anthony oftentimes is the one in the regular videos, but for live streams too.
Yeah,
I
he
think it's
is.
important to kind of spread it around a bit.
I give Anthony crap, but yeah,
Down to
Anthony.
jump out there. I do enjoy doing it. I tend to get into the zone where I get less talkative, and so I just don't know if I don't have to carry the torch there in terms of conversation, I can just zone in. Totally.
You've also
It
been
is hard
really.
to talk while paint correcting.
Yeah.
The other thing too, though, that you know, Anthony has been ridiculously busy in the last few months. So I get it. He has been not only doing a lot of the main channel videos that you guys see, but he's curating, designing, coming up with a lot of things, saving the company, really, as some might say.
Mostly just we don't want to lose the shop, right? So that's why every subscription helps. Please subscribe down below so we don't lose the shop.
Oh, speaking of shop, we have a sale. And today's the last day of the sale.
Ends tonight, Mountain Standard. Time,
Holy
11 p.m.
cow.
You should be talking about
Lucas,
that.
Why
can
are we
you
not
please-
talking about this, Lucas?
Can you please tell people how they can help us not lose the shop?
All right, guys. So what I
Let's
need
wipe me
you
off
to
the
do
screen. Let's take a look at this.
is I want you to like be smart, like don't be too crazy, but like the
Don't be
money that you
crazy.
have set aside
Don't
for
be
like
crazy.
college funds, whatever you have going on,
Blow it.
Go to theragcompany.com, add to cart, whatever you see, click add to cart, purchase. We'll get it to you. You help us save the shop. You get cool detailing products, and you get them 20% off with a
Help us save
70% off
the
doorbusters.
shop.
So
I am shocked that we have the
after it.
Varsity Brush
45
limited
bucks?
edition still available. I'm shocked because that's
There's not a
so
lot
much. Okay, there's not a lot.
I
Okay.
was dying at that applicator and towel combo for $3.50. Did you see that?
I actually did
Yeah.
not look at
Such a
these
good
deals.
deal.
These are really
That
good
was
deals.
No, those doorbusters are insane. Slept on doorbusters. Well, I wouldn't say slept on. The sale's been doing great, but I mean, I think that's all stuff that people would love. Is that
Oh
a
my
clean
gosh,
screen?
the
Oh,
drift
the drift
sold
cancel.
out.
Oh man.
Is that a till?
There's a
Clean
teal
screen.
clean screen.
Till? Oh my gosh, that's Cindy's favorite
Riptide
color.
variant.
I know.
to
I
be
bought
exact.
some.
So anyways, some great stuff for detailing kickoff. Start the detailing season off right with the rag.
That Detail Factory brush kit is pretty freaking cheap, and it'll last you a long time.
It'll last you like forever.
Yeah, your whole life.
Yeah. Well, maybe not forever, but it'll last you a really long time, and it's a cool colorway. It's limited, so once it's gone, it's gone. We will probably not be bringing it back because we just want to celebrate,
Yeah.
good old-fashioned. When's spring break, actually? Speaking of college.
I think it's in like 2 weeks.
It's like in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately,
See you guys down in Arizona.
no, not really,
No?
because we're getting ready for
Like Havasu.
Havasu.
They're gonna
Like
be like, bro, how old are
Kokomo?
you? And I'm just like, I am 22. I'm still in college. And they're like, you're not. And I'm like,
Your hair's thinning, bro.
That's just rude.
Oh, come on.
Oh, man.
dude, the cowlick shot. You got me.
buddy.
Oh. Oh no.
So what about Luke's question here? He wants to know if we're
that
planning on
any
selling
plan?
replacement cones or
Luke,
heads for the
why are
Ultra
you
Air
breaking
blasters.
cones?
That is an
Oh,
interesting
I've
problem.
had people ask me this
No,
question.
Really?
Yes.
we
I have had a lot of
it
people
is
ask.
so we've actually
Yeah.
had so many requests that it is actually probably going to happen. If it hasn't already been, or if it's not already in process, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people request it, so it's going to happen.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
All right, so I got a few more here, and then we will round this one out. But Ryan Rigdon saying, I picked up the varsity brushes.
Nice.
Sweet
Nice.
deal.
Rigdon, you're gonna like it.
Ryan.
In person, it does look really awesome.
And Dane, before we leave, I have
Yeah.
a question for the audience too that I
course.
want to have them to have a chance. So I saw everybody saying that they like seeing things go off the rails. So, you know, Glenn does such a great job, but I just want the audience to share with her, like, if they're okay if things go off the rails during TRCMA, like,
Yeah.
is that okay, right? Because we try to keep it like nice and tidy, but you know,
Yeah, when the vendor partners come, so here.
well, of course, but you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
We are a very fun bunch, I like to think. But yeah, when the vendors come, it is realistically your time to ask them any questions that you might have. You ask, obviously, us a lot of questions, but they are the true experts in those areas and they can answer them. And unfortunately, in live productions, not everything's perfect. Things are going to go crazy. And
But we like to have fun, right?
I think we like to
Yeah.
have fun, and,
Yeah.
and going based off of Sid's question, is that something you guys really like? And furthermore, I kind of wanted to expand on this question, future Q&As. What would you like to
Yeah.
see in future Q&As? Do you like this style where we are kind of doing a TRCMA run through with educational topics and then craziness topics? What's your cup
A
of
lot
tea?
of bouncing around from set to set
Yeah.
to set.
Yeah, put it
More
in the
activity.
comments, because genuinely, as we post TRCMA, we as a team are going to really, talk about it, and we want to provide the best content for you, not just for entertainment, but also education. So that's the key.
True.
I think it's good to vocalize it too, because what happens is if we were to put out a survey right now and we were to
Yeah.
ask everybody, what do you like? Do you want things to go off the rails? Do you want it to stay very serious? Do you want it to stay very detail focused? Funny enough, I would probably say that most of the people would probably vote for being a more serious show with
Yeah.
more serious detailing content. That was actually a tough thing, because back in the day when we had the main show podcast and we had, we'd go off the rails and go off topic, a lot of people just wanted us to be on track with detailing discussions and talk about detailing and only detailing. Now, again, when you've been doing this for 7-8 years, right, talking about detailing for multiple hours a week nonstop, eventually you start to kind of lose it. Your mind, you not lose it, but lose your mind a little bit. So you want to try to kind of mix it up, but we find that a lot of new detailers found that that information was helpful, and people who are new to the game wanted to know more about detailing and get a more concentrated dose. Whereas people who have been doing this for a long time, veterans, people who have been detailing for many, many years, understand that detailing doesn't have to always be so serious, and you can actually have some fun and joke around, where it fits. And so what we need to know is vocalize, right? Do you guys like the...
This is a great comment to end on. Ryan Rigdon, you're always
Okay.
a beloved
So,
watcher
like,
here,
do
but
you-
boy, that may have done it.
Let us know in the comments of this video right now, right? Not necessarily in the chat, but we actually leave a comment in the video and say,
Yeah.
hey, we love when you guys go off the rails, or maybe we like when it's more serious, because there's no wrong answer. It's just it helps us create a better show for you guys, and it helps us set up TRCMA, and it allows us to actually kind of let our vendor partners know, right? How serious does this need to be, right? We want it to be professional, but we still want it to be fun.
want it to
We
be
don't want it.
us,
We don't
yeah.
want it to become like so dry that people are falling asleep. That's
Yep.
not
Good
good.
balance.
Yeah.
We
And
wanna get-
I do think that Joey made a really good comment. He said that, the halftime show is for going off the rails. So I do think that was good, because the halftime show definitely does go off the rails.
Yeah,
So
it
if
does.
that's a
Yeah.
time when you take a break from TRCMA, maybe you shouldn't if you like the going off the rails, because the halftime show is a whole show within itself. So
And
you don't want to
yes.
skip that.
And just
you don't
as a
wanna skip that.
reminder, TRCMA is March 30th, Monday, March 30th through Thursday, April 2nd. And this is important. Yes, we are going to have a fun time during TRCMA, but for you as the viewers, as I mentioned, you can ask questions to all of our vendors. But at the end of each day, we're going to have something special for you that can impact you, that you can be a part of. Really want to emphasize that. It's going to be pretty freaking awesome. I'm jealous. I wish I could be a part of it. I mean, we do get to be a part of it. We just don't get to receive it. And that's all I'm going to say.
So I really like this comment here from Wolfsburg, because it does touch on the kind of thing, like, I really enjoy the faster paced shows where there's more activity. Obviously, some of the reason we don't do that every time is just because allocating time. A lot of you guys aren't all available at exactly the same time, and what people don't see is a lot of the movement happening behind the cameras. Like, we actually have moving around. We got Jimmy and the full Skeletor rig. We got all this stuff set up. It's just a whole thing, and obviously we want to know if you're interested. So maybe if we did shows that were, say, less frequent, but we did it to this capacity, maybe that is something you'd be interested in. Or if you prefer something that's more regular and more common, but a little pared down just to keep things realistic, those are some of the trade-offs. But we want to hear what you have to say. So make sure after the show ends, I want to see comments down below this giving us some ideas of what you would like to see in terms of format. If today worked for you, I personally really enjoyed today's show because we got a good little mix of different stages, some serious stuff mixed with some goofing in between. It was really fun. So if you guys, though, who were actually in it, have any comments now, I'd like to hear what you have to say about it.
Leave them down in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching, and definitely check out the sale, and don't forget to put on your calendars TRSEMA, March 30th through April 2nd. Dane, we're gonna throw it to you, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys. And of course, I like this comment here. TRC is a group of friends from around the world. It's always good to have some fun. Couldn't agree more there, one who shall remain nameless. So, if you enjoyed today's program, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up, a big old like on your way out the door. And if you're not already subscribed to the Rag Company YouTube channel, please be sure to do that as well before you leave. We'd really appreciate it. And it gives you a heads up when the big stuff happens. And speaking of the big stuff, TRCMA is right around the corner. We are mere weeks away from it happening. It's the biggest show we do every single year here at the Rag Company, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you want more information, you can go to trcma.com, and that'll get you to the section of our website that gives you some more details you can follow up on, as well as just making sure you are subscribed and liking this content right here, because it will give you the notification of when it all happens. All right. That's my piece. I hope to see you guys later, and you take care. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch up with you on the next live.